Hello everyone, X-Walk Hill Bethelite here. And Jehovah's Witnesses are a virus. You have Trump trying to, and Elon Musk, I guess, trying to make the government more efficient, trying to cut on spending, putting taxes on everything, taxing Canada, taxing Mexico, taxing everybody. But you have this whole section of society that continues to go tax-free, which is religion. You probably would be able to pay for all kinds of social services, roads, everything else if religions were taxed. However, the concept is that religions, especially Christian religions, are supposed to be setting up their own charities. Churches are essentially charities where they're giving out food, they're helping the homeless. They're doing all kinds of charitable acts. So they're providing a service, you could say, to society. So why would you tax them? Well, the issue isn't so much your mainstream churches. The issue are your cults. Jehovah's Witnesses are just a virus. They just eat, they sleep, they crap, and they just take up resources in the country. Jehovah's Witnesses should definitely be taxed. There shouldn't be a tax exemption on essentially a large virus. I remember watching this show back in the day, and well, it probably is still on. It was called The Walking Dead. And when I would watch the show, I was surprised at how much it reminded me of Jehovah's Witnesses. It's just a group of people who have this virus that eats at their brain, and they can't function normally. Like, they just go around destroying society. Those zombies on The Walking Dead, well, that is exactly what Jehovah's Witnesses are. It's just something has eaten at their brain. They're not able to think. They can't understand that a doomsday religion that predicts the end of the world falsely, well, that's probably not the one God is using. Like, that's the most common sense thing anybody could ever have to process in their mind. Is a religion being used by God? Okay, well, let's check it out. You got all these false teachings. They are, to this day in 2025, still changing things all around because they were all false. And the best way to cover false teachings are to just change them to something else. What they change them to could be false also. Just change them to something else and just, get people to stop talking about it. Well, you'd have to be an idiot to think that that religion is the religion God is using. I have a beard as we speak. For the longest time, even at Bethel, a 5 o'clock shadow was somewhat of a big deal. We would be eating at the table. Of course, you got a table full of all these Bethelites, and somebody would have a 5 o'clock shadow, and the rest of the Bethelites would kind of warn them, like, hey, you got a little bit of a 5 o'clock shadow. You might want to run and shave that. If you got time to run to your room before you go back to your assignment, because literally facial hair was essentially a sign of a lack of spirituality. Like, you're not spiritual if you didn't shave your face. And that was the reality. There's no other reason why a person wouldn't be able to go to a Jehovah Witness church and give comments and get up on the platform and do all these things just because they had a beard on. It had to have been a sign of something. It was a sign that that person wasn't that spiritual, because you didn't put shaving cream on your face and shave your beard off. So you're a heathen, right? So now they just changed the damn rule. Now everybody's a heathen. Now you got all these Jehovah Witnesses running around with beards on, except for the differences is now you can comment, you can give talks. Probably the religion that can't tell its forehead from its asshole, that's probably not the one God is using. The one that's the most confused out of all of them, Jehovah's Witnesses now. If you, because I grew up a Jehovah's Witness back in the day, if we would talk to somebody at the door and they had all these questions, right? We would be at that door answering those questions. We didn't have no tablet that we would get online and try to go find some answers. You had your Bible, you had whatever books you brought from the Kingdom Hall, and you were there talking to people and answering all kinds of questions. Nowadays, Jehovah's Witnesses stand by carts, and if somebody asks a question, they tell them, well, go to that website and look it up for your damn self. Why do Jehovah's Witnesses want you to look it up for your damn self? Because they don't even know what the hell they teach anymore. That's the honest truth, because people enjoyed having Bible discussions. Back in the day, being a Jehovah's Witness was a lot more simple. But now that they have changed every damn teaching that ain't tied down, Jehovah's Witnesses oftentimes, they don't know what the hell the most recent teachings are anymore. They just standing out there next to that cart, because to them it's a sign of social status. They're a spiritual person if they stand next to a damn cart. That is why when you go on YouTube and you see people approaching these carts with Jehovah's Witnesses standing there, a lot of the time they tell them, go to this website. It's not that people just up and stopped enjoying talking about the Bible. It's that Jehovah's Witnesses damn near don't know what the hell they teach anymore. Beards, no beards, women wearing pants now. They used to not be able to wear pants. This fellowshipping is like what, supposed to be just a couple of months. Before it was freaking decades. Like it's ridiculous. You have got to have a virus, something mental going on that's eating at your brain, to be fooled by something that is not even doing a good job fooling people. Like, they are blatantly making teachings, getting them wrong, flip-flopping them around. And once they stop really going door to door as often as they once were, that was the only reason people knew about Jehovah's Witnesses, to be honest. The only reason people knew about Jehovah's Witnesses is because they used to knock on people's doors, wake them up during the weekends, and try to give them watchtowers. That's the only reason people even knew who they were. Now, Jehovah's Witnesses have lowered their standard on damn near everything. They've lowered their standard on this preaching work. Right? So for them now, they used to have people who, that's all they did was knock on doors, handing out magazines to whoever was dumb enough to open the door and listen to them. 90 hours, like that was all that they did. You had people who were just elderly, didn't have a job, and all they would do is drive around, knocking on people's doors, walking around places trying to hand out watchtower. That was their freaking life. That was their freaking career. Now, instead of just some bag lady looking person walking around trying to pass out magazines, to them, they're a pioneer. You know what I mean? They're something special because they're passing out magazines. Well, once Watchtower eliminated that standard that you have to be a pioneer, you got to be doing 90 hours a month, and they dropped it to something like 25 or whatever the heck it is now, like something ridiculously low. Auxiliary pioneering was higher than what a regular pioneer is now. They literally call it pioneering if you can just do 25 hours or something crazy like that. Heck, it could be 15 for all I know. They keep changing stuff. And I'm not going to sit around and just watch every damn JW broadcast to figure out what the hell they done changed next. Because one of the reasons is because Jehovah's Witnesses are a non-factor. The reason that a lot of people are aware of Jehovah's Witnesses is because they grew up in that cult and their family is in it and their family is shunning them, or their family is somehow affecting them, where it keeps bringing this cult back to people's minds, right? Like if you got a brother or a sister that's in that cult, well, you probably have a brother or sister that you haven't spoken to in decades. Because one thing about that cult is you have a bunch of fornicators and adulterers and people that have had all kind of baby out of wedlock and all kinds of stuff. You got all these people thinking that they're better than everybody else. Jehovah's Witnesses have some unwritten rule that after you done committed every sin in the book, I don't know, you start reading Watchtowers washes people of sin. I don't know how the heck they think it, but for whatever reason, you have all these people who have been involved with all kinds of sexual stuff and everything else. And because they're Jehovah's Witnesses, they think that they're better than everybody else. Done the same stuff anybody else would do. They may try to cover it up, but I've got a lot of Jehovah's Witnesses in my family, and you got all the same stuff that's going on everywhere else. You got divorces, you got sexual stuff going on. You just got all kinds of stuff going on amongst Jehovah's Witnesses. Yet, for some reason, they think that they're better than everybody else. They think it's below them to speak to their own family members, half of them. So that's the only reason nowadays a lot of people even know about Jehovah's Witnesses, is simply because they're currently being shunned by somebody, or they know people that are being shunned. Jehovah's Witnesses ain't on shit anymore. They're not doing anything. They have nothing going on anymore. In back in the day, I'm telling you, it was Jehovah's Witnesses. It was 20 of them standing on a corner at your block, and of course that's going to get attention. Who are all these damn people getting out of these cars with the most raggediest suits and dresses on, but they got briefcases and whatnot? Like, that's what would get people's attention back in the day. Today, now that you don't really have that, you just got a bunch of raggedy looking old homely Jehovah's Witnesses standing next to carts in the most bag lady looking dresses and oversized suits that wherever they could find for the cheapest price, standing around. And ain't nobody gonna go ask them about no Bible looking the way that they look. You know, back in the day, if people used to wear robes and walk around in sandals and look kind of rough, I mean, you had an excuse. Back in Jesus' time, they didn't have cars. They didn't have the things that we've got today that are so modern and nice. Well, Jehovah's Witnesses out standing next to carts, looking all bag ladyish and just looking homeless, essentially. That's all they really got going on now. They try to put these carts in public places and just stand next to them. I've seen Jehovah's Witnesses in the damn mall. You know how dumb you got to be to go take a damn cart, take it in the mall, sat it next to the food court and just stand there looking like a damn fool? Do you have the idiocy? I even walked up to him like, y'all setting up in the damn mall food court? Nobody is approaching this damn cart. Nobody gives a damn that the cart is in the food court. They're there to get something to eat. Jehovah's Witnesses are just so damn desperate for attention now that they're setting these carts up everywhere and nobody cares. That's not going to get you attention. So now the only people, in my opinion, that even know about Jehovah's Witnesses, this is a dead religion. This is a dead religion. It's got no effect on society at all. The only people who know about Jehovah's Witnesses are people who were a part of it, I would say, or people who dated somebody who was a Jehovah's Witness. Somebody who has family who are Jehovah's Witnesses. What that means is Jehovah's Witnesses are not on the minds of damn near anybody else in society. The vast majority of society ain't thinking about no damn Jehovah's Witness. The vast majority of society ain't thinking about them as even an option as to if they wanted to find a new church. They're not thinking about Jehovah's Witnesses. Jehovah's Witnesses aren't even the butt of comedians' jokes anymore. Back in the day, people used to make jokes because Jehovah's Witnesses is always knocking on somebody's damn door. So you would be watching a show. Back in the day, we would watch in Living Color when I was younger, and they'd make a joke talking about, I thought you was a Jehovah's Witness knocking on my door like that. Well, now they don't even knock on doors like that anymore. They ain't even doing enough to be the butt of somebody's damn joke. When I say dead religion, I'm talking about religions you ain't even damn heard of. There are religions out there right now that you ain't even heard of, but they don't exist in your reality or in your mind. That's the case for Jehovah's Witnesses with the majority of society. So yes, it's a dead religion now. It doesn't matter that they change teachings around and flip-flop things around now. They don't matter anymore. The only thing that matters is that you got a bunch of Jehovah's Witnesses within the like 55 and up range. And they've been lied to their whole lives, being told Armageddon is going to come and this paradise is going to solve all their damn problems. They're not going to have any problems anymore because paradise is going to solve it all. Well, all these people have been lied to. So around 50, 55, around that age, all of them, that's when they're going to really start getting hit with all kind of health problems. They're going to start getting hit with, okay, you're ready to retire now, but you were in this damn cult that taught you that you never had to worry about retirement because you're supposed to walk into this damn paradise that you had to be a fool to believe in. And now there's no paradise, so what's next? This is what Jehovah's Witnesses have to face, but none of them want to talk about. You're 50, 55, or 60 and up. Let's even say 60 and up. You got this whole group of Jehovah's Witnesses all around the world. Once you hit 60, what now? Because now you got to start planning for a damn funeral. If you didn't have no will before, now you got to start thinking about writing a will. Now you got to start thinking about all kinds of damn medications. You weren't supposed to have to worry about medications. The end of the world was around the corner, according to them, back when you were 30. When you were 25. The end of the world was around the corner. Now you 55, 60, 70, anybody 60 and up, that bad boy wasn't around no corner. Now you got issues. Now you can't grow a beard if you wanted to, or if you do, it ain't gonna look right because you're bald at the top. You got hair here, you got hair here, but you ain't got no hair here. And now you're worried about growing a beard now at 60 because Jehovah's Witnesses said you could. You're living a life of foolery. Like, this is just a mental disease. It's some kind of a virus that is essentially a controlled virus. It's a virus that's so controlled, the only people worried about it are the people who are related to somebody that has it. Like a cold. You ain't worried about a cold oftentimes unless other people around you have that damn cold. That's the only time you're thinking about it. That's the same thing. It's a virus. That's the same thing with Jehovah's Witnesses. It's a virus. You're not worried about Jehovah's Witnesses. Nobody even thinks about them unless somebody around you is a Jehovah's Witness. Now you're worried about it because there's a damn virus and it's right next to you. I'm talking levels of stupidity that the only way to describe it is that something is eating at these people's brains. So the thing that Jehovah's Witnesses don't want to talk about is 60 and up, time to start writing the will. You were lied to. I mean, retirement. Time to start thinking about retirement. You were lied to. What's the plan for retirement? What about all those Jehovah's Witnesses that were at Bethel all those years? Or that are currently at Bethel, and you hit 50 at Bethel. Time to start thinking, because if this cult starts closing the doors on Bethel, what are you going to do? No job, no retirement, no nothing. Bethelites 50 and up, you're fried. You couldn't leave Bethel if you wanted to. You going to leave Bethel to be a Walmart greeter? All of them ain't, like, you probably got some people at Bethel that have side businesses and whatnot. All of them definitely do not. So, all living Jehovah's Witnesses, 50, 55 and up, whenever them elements start hitting them old bones, and them old bones start rattling around and you can't get up anymore in the morning, and all you talk about all day is bowel movement and your gums hurt. I'm telling you, that's that whole subsection of Jehovah's Witnesses. That's when they wake up and realize they're screwed. That's when they wake up and realize they're screwed. They've been had. For women, a lot of them even younger, all those Jehovah's Witnesses that were waiting to have kids. They're like, I'm not going to have kids until Armageddon comes and the new system is here. Well, whatever age women start having a lot of problems to have kids, whether it be 45 and up or 40 and up or whatever the case may be, all them, it's got to hit them at that point. See, this is the stuff that Jehovah's Witnesses don't want to talk about. That they're getting old, they're going to die at some point, and there ain't no Armageddon coming, and there's sure enough ain't no paradise coming. All this great tribulation, all this stuff that was supposed to happen didn't happen. And now all they got to look forward to is, I guess they got to have a funeral at the Kingdom Hall, and they're going to have somebody get up on the stage and talk about field service and try to use their death as a recruitment tool for Watchtower. That's all they got to look forward. I'm telling you, this is the real talk that Jehovah's Witnesses have got to face. Is there's a lot of them that are old. What are you going to do now? You just old as hell talking about the Armageddon still? You still want to do that? You've been doing it for 40 years and you still want to sit around talking about Armageddon is around the corner? I'm talking all these older Jehovah's Witnesses have seen the changes because they were alive back when you weren't supposed to have beards, back where women wasn't supposed to have pants on in the Kingdom Hall, back when field service was 90 hours a month for a pioneer, back before they did all these damn changes. So they've seen all the changes. They've seen this thing is on no kind of sturdy foundation whatsoever. Any teaching could change any day. Comment down below, let me know what you think. But I think old age ought to be the cure for this damn virus that people have. Where, hey, once you hit a certain age, it's time to start thinking about funeral arrangements. You know what I mean? Like, you know? So comment down below, let me know what you think. X-Wall killed Bethelite, and Lily over here signing out.